All right, here we go. We're going live. Live show number 4 with Blake Wilkey. Just waiting for him to tune in a little bit. Before we start, got to give a, let's see who this is. Got to give a huge shout out to Smudge Pots. Smudge_Pots. If you aren't following them on Instagram, check them out. Josh over there. I sell smudge pots on the side for anyone that doesn't know. And Josh over there hooked me up with some bases so I could have some full units. Let's see. What's going on, Chad? What's going on, Scott? Just waiting for Blake to tune in here. Blake, drop a comment if you're on so I can... Whoopsie. So I can add you, bud. Braden, what's going on, buddy? All right. Blake, if you're on, drop a comment. For some reason it will not let me see you. There we go. We're getting Blake on right now.
Go ahead. What up?
What's going on?
I can't hear shit. Alright, I might have to get back in my truck and leave, but what's going on, dog?
What's going on, man? Are we ready to do this thing?
Just cruising, man. Just picked up my parts from Cryo Heat Treat. These boys are running this other little drag car they got on the dyno. I mean, if you guys want to see a pull or two, I can stick around and let them do a couple pulls. You might not be able to hear me, but it's up to you guys.
Let's see a pull. Let's do it.
Let's see a pull. I'll go on my truck. Can I flip this thing around? Oh, hell yeah. There we go. Get a little wrapping done while they're warming this bitch up and all that. Dude, the thing's so fucking loud. Holy shit. Alright, I can hear you kinda. What's up?
Nothing. I'm just adding it to a few pages here. So
yeah.
All right. So still at Cryo Heat?
I am. I just picked up the new ring and pinion. They did all my gear, so they do a freeze process of the metal to basically relieve any stresses that the metal has, because it all comes in a liquid state. Freeze it, then heat cycle it, and then micro polish it to where it exerts heat better. It is less friction, which is less heat, and just a bunch of good shit. So Josh over there at Cryo's mad scientist. So even brake pads, freaking clutch pressure plates, friction plates, all of it, dude. Just do it all, man. I want to last for as long as fucking possible, man.
I've seen you post about their stuff lately and kind of how it's proven its worth to you. I mean, you push stuff pretty hard, so.
Yeah, no doubt, dude. We'll go back in there now that they're getting that car all final tuned up and ready for a dyno. They got a meet here in March, and yeah, these boys don't mess around. They built some nasty motors and all that. Here's Josh from Cryo.
Hey,
what's going on, Josh? How you doing, buddy?
We're live.
We're live.
Awesome. Hey, everybody.
Mad scientist right here. I'll show you some of his gears and stuff and some of the process on this. Then we'll go into, the mint, the new bug, all that cool shit. Let's see. Boom. We'll keep some of the stuff on wraps. Some of his equipment is super top secret, but so this is what gears usually look like when they come in. Super dull. And then this is what gears look like when they come out. So, I mean, you can see the difference here. But yeah, he's changing the game, man, for sure.
Looks like we're gonna have to get Josh on the Dirty Dooner show too.
Yeah, Josh, you want to be on the Dirty Dooner show?
Am I dirty? Am I dirty
You're
enough
dirty.
to be on this show?
You're dirty enough.
We'll do.
You got the beanie on and everything.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Right on,
Yeah.
man.
We'll connect those
All right.
dots. But let's check this thing out right here. We'll get a little breakdown on this girl. Sorry to not get to beat around the topics that we're going to discuss for a minute, but
there's no topics. There's no track here.
Good. What numbers you guys gonna pull?
805 to the tire, right?
805. All right, let's see it.
750 on the first pull.
Oh, inching up to it. Oh man, I can't hear shit. My eyes are watering. I gotta get out of here, dude. All right, we'll come back to this. We can get these guys on too. They build some nasty, super sick, nasty shit. I'm out. Later, dudes. Get it, Papas. Kill it, dude. This old man shreds hard as fuck. Super rad.
Goodbye to everybody in Facebook land.
Later, dog.
Later, Blake.
All right. Continuing the mission. This is the live show. This is live. Later, partners.
It's all right. I think this is the most exciting live show we've had so far.
What's up, dog?
Dude,
Dude,
I didn't know you were the man that did the shredding on the
Streets.
jumps and all that with the buggy.
Shit was tight. You're live right now, dude.
G-Force in the house.
Yeah. Later, dude. Nice to meet you as well. I'm going to pull out on the trail unless you want to go with me. Dude, look like Santa Claus. All right, cool. Let's get the show on the road.
Dude, that was quite the entrance to a show, gotta say.
All right, good. Well, I'm sorry. It's probably not going to be as entertaining from here on out.
All right, so everyone watching, if you were entertained by that, drop a comment right now.
Yeah. If not, then go back and watch it later because it was thoroughly entertaining. I can't really hear shit right now, though. That thing was loud. Everyone had earplugs inside there, and I didn't get offered a set.
Didn't get the memo.
Nope. I can turn the light on too. So today was pretty eventful, though. I had to. It's like every day, a lot of steps to keep the wheels turning. Had to go deliver a customer's car all the way up in Riverside, up to 210, like 10 over in Beaumont kind of area, to Jason at Next Level, who does all my aluminum work, and then stop and drop another customer's project that got done today off. And it's just I've been going since freaking 7 o'clock this morning, man. And now I gotta sit in traffic for like 45 minutes anymore, but whatever, it's what it takes.
So what's Blake doing these days? What's he delivering cars, working on cars? Someone said ice cream party.
Oh, all the above, man. Everything, a little bit of everything, shredding, everything and anything. Just having fun with it, dude. Basically, I'm sure you've seen it. Obviously, the picture that you used for this live show was off of the shoot, Urban Assault 2, which is in Vegas. The shoot went horrible the first day. We were doing rolling shots and had a water pump fail. So I had to go to Harbor Freight, find a water pump. Luckily, we were in Vegas. We had all those resources. We were able to round up everything we needed. 3/8 pipe tapping the side of the water pump, heating shit out, pulling out the heater hose stuff, tapping it there on the spot on set. Got it back together in like an hour and a half with finding tools, finding parts, and carried on. Then the action shots for the next 3 days. Super sick features, things that you see and you're always like, that would be cool. Or like sometimes people might not think of it, but we put everything together and actually have these super unique, super cool features that should definitely put a smile on your face. It put a smile on my face. At first, I was just like, this could really damage my investment right now. Is it worth it? Should I hit this? And I'm like, quit being a pussy. Hit it. Send it. But so that shoot went super sick. 3 days of nothing but action-packed. Like go, shot list. And I had to run through everything like 5-6 different times. Attain Media wanted to like cover all angles, make sure they had more footage than not enough footage with the angles, in cars, this, that, and also with having photographers in position to get the those into position, not be in the shot. So there's just a sequence of things that I've never really been exposed to. Like the first one's like, let's hit it, film it, dip out, you know, and there wasn't really 1 or 2 takes available because of the scenario. But this one was just like, it was tiring, man, honestly, but well worth every bit.
So who were some of your partners? Who helped you put together Urban Assault 2? And I guess when are we going to see it?
Urban Assault 2. So we had this idea. We created a media deck. We pitched it to the city. The city was like, this is cool. And then we got all of our ducks in a row. They ended up approving it, and then they ended up kind of taking a step back, because after they took a step back, because they Googled Urban Assault and they Googled my name and they saw everything, and they're like, dude, like this guy is a maniac. Like, is he gonna abide by the rules? Like, is he gonna play fair? And we assured him, like, you know, that was a few years ago. Learned a lot, obviously, and they dug it though. So after that, that like little hit.
All right, lost you for a second, so we'll get you back in a second here. Uh-oh. All right, so Blake's driving, as you've seen. Back here.
I'm back. You there?
Yeah, gotcha.
Oh, got a phone call. Sorry, everyone.
Oh.
Yeah, so we had a few more weeks to like get everything in order, and like before we knew we were in super crunch time, ended up making it happen. Pulling some strings. Basically, everyone that we showed the media deck to, they were all about it. Like, because me and Out West Creative, who basically managed the whole project. My buddy Nick, I've had a good relationship with him forever. He's one smart fella, and he put basically 90% of this together, and I was like his leverage point in making it come together. And pitch it to HP, pitch it to Gladiator, pitch it to Method. They all jumped on board. There was a little bit of back and forth, not a whole lot, but they all jumped on board and said, we believe in you guys. This is awesome. So far, you guys have done a good job. You guys convinced the city. You guys got all the permits. We had a couple scouting trips with photos, directions, ideas where the jumps and everything would be placed, and other features, and then the release party being at the Mint, as long as we could pull it off within a certain window to do all the editing and sound and color design. And so HP tuners, Gladiator, Method jumped on first and made it to where it's like, okay, we can push forward. And then King Shocks shortly after them, when we realized we needed a little bit more funding because some of the costs were going up as we were putting all the pieces together. King Shocks, Flowmaster, and KC all also stepped up and chipped in their part, and we ended up doing it. And transmission got hurt, which obviously I was just picking up parts at Cryo Heat. So I mean, I'll probably be a little bit out of pocket for the production of everything, but it's like a dream come true, and I think the things that will roll into this after the fact will be huge.
Well, and that had to be surreal. Like, so you did Urban Assault. Obviously, you got in a lot of trouble. We don't need to go into that again. We talked about that in episode 15 a while back. But that had to be pretty surreal to kind of do everything the right way and then have it all come together and, like, at the end be like, dude, that was badass. Like, everything came together. I did it the right way, 100% legal. I can show this to whoever I want, whenever I want. You know, I don't have to worry about the cops knocking on my door.
Yeah, it was rad, dude. And like we all stepped back after the end, and like we're like, dude, everything went seamlessly and like flawlessly after that first little hiccup. And there were times where Jen, our team mom, she was like basically the one that like herded all the cats and made sure that everybody was in their places and doing the right thing. She was the team mom. I call her team mom, and she's not much older than me, but she was acting like a mom, so I think it grew on her. At first, she was like, what the hell, Blake? And then it grew on her. So that was cool. And, dude, yeah, even now looking back at it, it still feels fake, dude. Like, seeing the pictures, and then, like, I haven't even seen the edit yet. I'm, like, itching to see, like, the edit because they're making some tweaks and adjustments and getting the sound and everything now kind of final buttoned up in the color. And here we are, you know, like 10 days from the premiere, and it's like, I'm not worried about it. I know they'll pull through, but it's like, I want to see it. I want to make sure it's cool, you know? Like, if there's something donkey hard in there, like, dude, cut that down, man. Like, come on, I look like an idiot. But, yeah.
So one of the questions from the comments was, what transaxle were you running?
I run a Mendiola sequential, the S4. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty solid transmission, but when you have a bunch of horsepower that you're shoving down its throat and you're sidestepping the clutch, you know, to get to wheelie on Fremont Street, you know, multiple times, and or a bunch of desert trips where you're blasting through whoops, stuff does fail. Stuff needs to be maintained properly, and luckily we caught this prior to it creating any more severe damage. But this time around, I had a little downtime. I wanted to make sure that we did everything right and made everything even stronger by doing this process. So, yeah, nothing wrong with that transmission. It's just I beat the hell out of it.
Now, what were the final numbers that the Blue Bug Megalodon is pushing as far as horsepower goes?
582 to the wheels with 8.5 pounds of boost. And that's 50-50 race gas, and with not super aggressive cam, you know, low compression motor, obviously, since you're shoving down its throat. But yeah, 582. I mean, I wish I had more. You always want more, but it's definitely enough to get you in some serious trouble fast if you don't know what you're doing. And I've been in trouble. I've been upside down a couple of times, you know, with or without a supercharger. It's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah. One of the other questions was, and let's have you answer this question, and then we're not going to skip over Shreddy series, but one of the other questions was, who did your aluminum work?
Jason from Next Level Motorsports. He's up in Riverside. Super humble, super cool dude. He's always been someone that stood behind me, and like when the first time I rolled it, I reached out to him and a couple other people, and he gave me a killer deal and said, just, you know, I dig what you do. He followed me from previous endeavors and the Urban Assault. I didn't really use that as like an advantage point to try and get a deal. I never really ever do that with people, but if they see some worth in their work being on my car, their product, and they want to work together, then by all means, like, I'm gonna stand behind them. And he's top tier dude for sure, top tier guy. out
Yeah,
there.
if you haven't checked out his work, I mean, his work is just freaking amazing. I mean, not only your car, but it's just so rad.
Yeah, and I mean, there's some people on here may or may not have experience with doing aluminum work. I've I've done it, but nothing to that extent. And I know it's a very meticulous, very 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 skill crafted art form. Like hands down, it's an art form. And his patience and his know-how and his methodical thinking that goes into his work prior to actually completing a job or even getting started on the job is half the battle. Then him bringing it to life is awesome to watch. Because one time I actually had really tight deadlines and I stayed there and I helped him for an entire day for like 12 hours. We got it done. We got a whole new roof done in 12 hours, me and him. And just watching the process and his little eye for things and the way he does things is just it's cool to watch, man. I mean, 12 hours went by quick and we got a lot done. But yeah, I was like, that would have took me 4 days, and it would have looked like half as good, man. Yeah.
So we were talking about Urban Assault 2. Why don't you talk? I kind of know about it. Why don't you talk a little bit about the release, the party, what you got going on with that at the Mint?
So the Mint, we're gonna have a bunch of engagement with all the sponsors involved in giveaways and stuff. But so the Mint is obviously the 7th, 8th, and 9th. 7th and 8th, or no, 8th, 9th, and 10th. 7th,
Yeah.
Or 8th and 9th are tech or contingency, where the car will be in display at Gladiator's booth. So you can come down, check that out. You take a picture of the car, tag it. Tag the sponsors that I listed earlier, or that the requirements are going to be. We're going to be giving away a Pro 6 light bar from KC, which is huge. It's at the Gold Spike actually. So you take a picture of the car in the Gladiator booth, and then you come to the premiere. You take a picture of the car at the premiere. You post a picture of both and tag the sponsors, and then you're entered. But that's just a fun way for us to kind of give back and get people there and give back to those that want to be there and that are going to be there. It's at Gold Spike, which is a block off of Fremont Street, basically right there in the heat of the mix. It's a super cool outdoor venue that has good vibes to it. There's some big like oversized games like beanbag games back there and stuff. Yeah, cool bar. I think you're pretty sure you have to be 21 and up, but there's going to be a big screen. We're going to have DJ Jinko, who is also involved in the edit. They're DJing. James Haunt, who was an artist. That there's a little twist to Urban Assault 2, where there's an artist and a new body that gets blended into its surroundings to kind of disappear, I guess you could say. So that body will be on display there, seen for the first time at the premiere as well, which is exciting. And another art form coming to life in this piece. But yeah, it drops at March 8th at the Mint 400, a block off Fremont at midnight, and then the 9th, obviously, right after the premiere, it'll be live online for anyone and everyone in the world to hopefully watch and enjoy.
Dude, I booked my flight and my hotel to go to Vegas for the Mint today, and you just got me so excited to be there.
Dude, it's gonna be a good time, man. I gotta definitely can't get too wild and loose off the goose. Gotta keep it mellow while I'm there. I'm sure everybody's like, "Let's take a shot." And I'll be like, "Dude, not tonight, brother." But, yeah.
Will you at least do one shot with me, just for good old days? Just one shot with me.
Dude, what happened at King of the Hammers, bro?
Dude, no, we can't talk about that yet. We cannot talk about that yet. We cannot talk about that yet. That's at the end. We're not getting there yet.
Okay.
Dude, let's talk about the new bug. Let's talk about this thing. I saw the shell at King of the Hammers. I was pretty intrigued. A lot of people were intrigued. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's been even a lot more changes to that body or ideas with that body since you last seen it. I took 3 shells and basically morphed them into one. Took sections out of multiple ones in order to make it bigger, to make it wider. I went 12 inches wider from obviously door to door to accommodate the front engine and the Turbo 400. And then to get more cab room, I went 12 inches longer. So I went 8 inches in the front window and door, or front door, you could say, and then 4 inches in the rear window. That way, when you're sitting in it and you have the engine and tranny right next to you, you can look out the window still because the seats are going to be pushed back. So you don't want to be looking at the door jamb. I want to be looking out the window and or to obtain the wheelbase. I think our target's 118 hub to hub. To obtain that wheelbase, I wanted it to look proportionate and not just look like the rear solid axle was way back there, you know? So that took a bunch of work. I got everything kind of like tacked up and like in position, but then I took it to Moonshine Metals here in El Cajon, who has all the proper tools and knows the welding procedure and knows where to stretch and push and pull and cut and retack and do all that properly to where we can make a plug off of it. We can make a mold. So we're gonna actually make a fiberglass body off of this, to where now if I do go roll it or whatever, because obviously that's part of the sport. I've found that out a few times. So once we have that fiberglass mold, if something does happen, it's not this huge drawn out process of creating this hard shell again. The hard shell is going to be badass, but yeah. We also talked about doing, obviously we had to add some structure to the inside of this, but if we do the structure right to the inside of this cab, we could do an interior and an exterior mold and have an interior and an exterior carbon fiber mold made to where we can glue the two halves together and then have a carbon fiber body. So straight up supercar shit, gangsters can be, but obviously the dollars, or it has to be funded too, which I mean, my entire savings account is going at this build right now. And then once I get to the red zone, I have to either A, ask for help from sponsors, or B, sell the car that I currently have, which would suck, but it is what it is. And in order to get that progression there to that next step and show that it's not just a stagnant thing, it's like every couple of years I want to have something bigger and better. But I mean, this car that we're doing with Robbie, I don't know how it's going to get better from here. That'll be a tricky thing to figure out.
Yeah, it's kind of like with Robbie. Like anyone that's seen Robbie, the $1 million diesel stuff like that. How can you go any bigger than that? This car is going to be everything you want, everything you need.
Yeah, I mean that truck's unreal. I've been fortunate to see that thing a handful of times, and when you see it, you just like look at it and you're mesmerized by it. And you're like, how, what, who, where did that come from? And a lot of people that do look at it, if you don't follow him or whatever, they don't understand that he actually drew all that shit. He had it machined. He engineered all that to work. And for being someone that's a couple years older than me, his drive, his knowledge, and everything is just so far beyond even well-established drawers, fabbers. He does it all, and he's a wizard. He's like a 90-year-old man trapped in a 30-year-old's body that has just exponential amounts of knowledge. It's fathoming. I don't even know what that really means, but it sounded right.
That's a good word. Fathoming. I'm not going to look it up, but I think it's a word.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
All right, so anyone that's watching, anyone that's listening, if you have any questions for Blake, we've got a few more kind of topics we're going to talk about, but drop them in the comments. And after we kind of talk about this last thing, we'll get to some of the listener questions. That'd be kind of cool. So Blake's throwing up emojis while he's driving.
I'm calling. So if I can comment while I'm driving, you guys can comment. Yeah. But that's thanks to the Mob Armor mount. That thing, I don't use it often, but when I do, I'm super stoked to have it. Like right now, dude, like I'm driving in my big old freaking Swamp Donkey Duramax and hands free. Watch movies with it. It's pretty sweet actually.
So we got to start with Dune Horse question.
Uh-oh.
Does it hang to the left or to the right?
I'm lefty, dude. Actually, I shouldn't answer that because now if like someone wants to kick me in the dick, they're like, all right, go for his left leg.
Ben McClellan, who's a local guy here in Phoenix, says, when can we see you at the dunes again?
That's a good question. I mean, I'm coming out to if you're from Phoenix, then I'll be at the Arizona Off-Road Expo. I believe we're going to be able to do demos there. I'm pretty sure that Tara is going to be cruising. We're going to have a Shreddy booth there again. And also, yeah, looking forward to coming out there and seeing all those guys out there again. So the dunes right now with the Mint, and then I'm going to Havasupai on like a little 5-day backpacking trip as well right after the Mint. So I'm going to the Mint, and then I'm going to NASCAR, and then I'm going to keep the bug in Phoenix, and then go from Phoenix to Havasupai Falls and go hiking for 5 days. So I'm going to be gone just on a sick little adventure for like a week and a half starting next week.
Dude, Havasupai this is totally not off-road, but Havasupai is unreal. So you'll really enjoy that. Oh, yeah. I went there when I was younger.
Been there twice. And if you look back at my feed, my friend actually jumped off of the Havasu Falls, 95 feet. He jumps off of the thing into the turning water, but it was crazy. I like went up there and looked at it, and I said, nope, like today's not my day to die, man. It's like, pussy, I jump off shit like this all the time when he used to live deep into Arizona and without churning water. And I'm like, wait till we get to the bottom so I can at least document it, A, and be there to save you if like you don't come up within like 10 seconds. And he's like, all right, hurry up, dude. He was already ready to jump, and I just like was like, all right, like I almost called bullshit, and then all of a sudden hucks it 95 feet, and I'm just like, that ain't nut. What it, yeah.
Dude, anyone that jumps off of those, they've got death wishes. So yes, cojones. So yeah. Let's any racing for Blake in the near future?
I wanted to co-dog with someone at the Mint, but it was just I hate co-dogging. Like I want to race, I want to drive. Like when there's someone that's coming into a corner soft, and I'm like, dude, you had like another 200 feet before you had to granny it into this corner. Like gas or brake, dude. Like those are the two that no coasting, no stagnant, you know. But I mean, that's me. Darren Parson did a really good job with that at the last races we were in. But I don't know. My car's a play car. It doesn't have the wheelbase. It has a lot of horsepower. It takes a lot of money to get to these races and do that stuff. So that's why I started over with a whole new car. And I might race Rage at the River if I still have that car, or if I have the new car done. Some of the funner races, like the big Baja stuff, like it just takes so much footwork, so much prep and pre-running and all that to be competitive, and I'd have to race in a sportsman class because of it not being naturally aspirated in any of the score stuff. But snore stuff can do that. But yeah, it's money. I don't have a sugar mama rig.
So there's another question. I think you answered this earlier. Is the new bug going to have a front suspension set up like the old one, or are you going to switch to I-beam front end?
The new car will have full cutting edge, like legitimately, like I said, cutting edge, because it'll have all like knife edge arms that are really lightweight and a different sort of gusseting system than you normally see. It's going to be a center mounted A-arm setup with probably 2.5 inch hollows up front and 3 1/4 inch snouts on the rear. But yeah, so A-arm suspension. It's I don't know. It's hard to beat it really when you're doing something of this caliber. You can't really beat it, in my opinion.
So we've got a few questions on Terra and Dirt Alliance. I think we're gonna skip those ones. We can talk about that at a later date.
Yeah,
unless you want to.
I mean, I got no hard feelings for Dirt Alliance. Just James, someone who invested a lot of time and effort into into Dirt Alliance, didn't have complete creative control over it, and he got to like a boiling point where he needed to move on. And I didn't leave on bad terms by all means, but James, since he was someone that helped us all gain sponsorship and put in the work to get the media content that really brought Dirt Alliance to life, and then for him to kind of lose a little bit of creative control and or all that, he's like, I'm going to start Terra to where I can put all my efforts and energy into my thoughts and my process, and basically do everything that I did with Dirt Alliance, but on my own with no boundaries. And we said, whatever you decide to do, James, we support you. You were the glue that held it together with planning trips and edits and getting us that exposure and speaking with sponsors, getting us into off-road expos and all of that. So we said, we're a band of brothers. We love you. We're running with it, and I don't think anybody has any hard feelings towards Dirt Alliance, but it's just a new brotherhood, I guess.
And I think you put it the best right there. James needed to let his creative side go and, really show people what he's capable of.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And, I don't know. I think it's cool. I think it's, I guess, another punk rock team. And, I'm sure DA is going to, there's new owner in DA too. So DA, when that happened, DA restructured completely and got bought by somebody else who's big into the sport, Sean Kepler, who runs Jump Champs and stuff. So I'm really hoping that Dirt Alliance now, under new management and all that, or new ownership, can him and James can see eye to eye, and we can build together and have it be all for one, or have it be all unity, because I don't want it to divide people. Like, I don't want the sport to be divided between, like, you have to pick a side or you're not cool, or what's cool and what's not cool. Like, I just want everyone to go shred and have a fucking good time, man.
Well, and it makes me sad. I grew up seeing Dirt Alliance around and seeing, I know that James kind of brought, Dirt Alliance kind of back together, but it kind of made me sad when, like, Dirt Alliance has done so much cool stuff, and when Terra kind of came through, everyone kind of turned on Dirt Alliance. And I understand, everyone was pissed off at what Paul was doing or what he wasn't doing. But, we're all one community. We're all, we all just want to go out and have fun and have badass rides and see cool shit. So
send it. Yeah,
send
exactly,
it.
Man. So I'm sure things will be changing and things will get moved around, pushed around, this or that. But regardless, gonna shred till you're dead.
I gotta say what's up to my mother-in-law who just came on the show. So
your mother-in-law.
My mother-in-law just came on, Sharon Oliver. It says Sharon Oliver is watching. So I can't even get my wife, who's in the other room, to come on the show and say hello. So
Shannon, you're a badass.
Well, man, is there anything else that you really want to talk about? I'm gonna have to go through and answer a lot of these questions. Oh, let's do this one. What do you think about Polaris buying a portion of Glamis?
Dude, I just hope it doesn't bring a bunch of kooks out there, like, they put a resort in, they make it to where it's easy for, like, beginner drivers to go out there, and next thing you know, like, those beginners are in the dunes creating a whole bunch of havoc and not knowing what the hell they're doing. And it's like, I mean, I've had a bunch of scares out there by people not really, either coming, like, when you're jumping jumps, like, they come over to see what these people are doing sitting on this hill, or like where we're jumping, like, it's like, stay your distance, know what we're doing. When you see us jumping, don't come up into our line or into our landing. And, like, it's going to generate a bunch of kooks, hopefully it keeps kooks out. Are they still building a resort out there and stuff?
I don't know what the actual plan is, but I think Polaris has come through and said, we'll leave it the way it is. We'll leave the roots and the heritage of it, but they are going to make things nicer and more accessible, more places for people to eat or drink or whatever. So
that's cool. Like if they have nice restaurants and stuff, cool. If they build some big old hotel out there to where it's now someone can come out there and just rent a razor on the spot and go thrash and do stuff like that, and or like leave trash or disrespect the dunes because they don't know like proper dune etiquette. Like, yeah, man. I mean, every time I'm at the hill, if I see or like leaving the hill at night or or the sand drags and shit, if people are leaving trash behind, speak up. I'm always like, hey, fuckers, like you guys left like 10 beer cans right there. You guys should probably pick those up or don't show your face out here again, and
Yeah.
And or like I've seen fights break out that way. I'm not gonna lie, I've been a part of it, but it's just can't like just like at the beach, I do the same shit over my territory at the beach, and it's like, I'm cool with like sharing, but like don't disrespect it like that, like blatantly, like right in front of people, like you're a piece of shit.
My wife said, we want the pizza place. There you go. We want the pizza place back.
Yeah. I think, yeah, absolutely. Pizza and ice cream, dude. Maybe we'll have to open up a Shreddy Shack.
Well,
chicken
man,
wings,
chicken
pizza
wings
and ice cream, dude. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about this now. So what in the hell happened at King of the Hammers?
Well, we decided to shotgun like several beers, and they were hanging out by the fire. And Timmy, who was an old member of Dirt Alliance back in the day with the blue and Ranger with the teal graphics, he had some like bourbon. And, I don't really drink bourbon often, but we took a couple shots, and the next thing you know, Jason from PRP's like, let's go to the chocolate lava place or whatever it's called. And went there and saw some crazy shit. I think you got lost by the campfire.
Yeah.
So, ended up getting to this chocolate place, and didn't see any chocolate, unfortunately. I was kind of looking forward to it, but found some people that had an extra seat in this pretty crazy little Toyota crawler they had. And I was like, dude, you guys got an extra seat? What's up with the ride up this freaking mountain right here? Got a ride. Aaron, my partner, was Shreddy. He was with Jason from PRP. It took forever to go up it, and then after we went up it, it was like an hour and a half. After we went up it, turned around, came back, the Jeep from PRP was gone. I'm like, you guys cool if like I'm stuck with you for like the night? Like I want to see some shit. Let's go party and go crawl some shit. So we ended up going and crawling some stuff. We went to this other crazy hill, and this chick was driving, and she switched with her dude, because it was her crawler, but she switched with her dude, and we ended up trying to go up this big ass like crazy feature. We're like bouncing, on the limiter, dude, and then all of a sudden it bites and just spits it over and lands on my side. The tube got dented in, and they're like, "Are you good? You guys good?" They all get out, and I'm like, "Dude, I'm casual. Like, I'm in a bad spot right now. Just flip this thing over. Don't worry about me. Like, I'm good. Flip this bitch on its wheels and let's do it again." Like, and they flipped it over, and we pulled off the side, assessed it, made sure everything was good, and ended up everything was good. Went to the next spot, crawled there, swapped in some other rides, and just got pitted, man. But I was gonna sleep in one of their rides because I was like, dude, we came out here, we're just kind of winging it. I got my hammock back at my truck. I'm not sure where Aaron's at. It's like 3 a.m. I'm just gonna crash out in the Tonka ride, and didn't end up passing out in there. They're like, dude, we got a spot in the trailer. I'm like, you sure? I don't want to impose. Like, you guys gave me beers all night and stuff, and yeah, man, like, sweet. So ended up crashing out in their trailer with them, waking up in the morning, and then finding you guys at the truck, and then carrying on to Battle of Prim.
The best part about it was in the morning, waking up, casually waking up, walking out of Russ's trailer. I look over, and Aaron, partner with Shreddy, is standing in the front of your truck. I walk over there. I'm like, Aaron, where's Blake? Dude, I don't know. It was either me or Aaron. We're like, dude, I hope he's not dead. And Aaron goes, dude, I hope not. He has the keys to the truck.
Yeah. Yeah, my phone died, and like I think service out there was super shitty too. So like, I don't know. We kind of know each other well, and he ended up hanging out with Jason for PRP all night, and I knew he was in good hands. Jason's a solid dude, so yeah, man, just see you when I see you, I guess. He knows whenever I get into something else or do this or do that, like chances are we'll just meet up in the morning or meet you by the fire and before bed or whatever. But yeah,
It was
he wasn't worried.
It was definitely a good time. It was killer seeing you guys out there and hanging out with you guys. I mean, what a blast that night was, hanging out, and look forward to many more like that. So.
Oh, absolutely, man, absolutely. I just got to the pad. Hell yeah. Cool. There's someone parked in my parking spot, so the trailer is gonna be all donkeyed out in the street right now tonight. Oh well. Sweet. Now I could actually look at the camera.
So I got another question for you. So when we did episode 15 on the Dirty Dooner Show, I asked you if you ever thought you could be an underwear model. So has Calvin Klein contacted you yet?
No, unfortunately not. But I like Ethica's. I bought Ethica's a bunch of times, and then actually Ryan Sheckler, who did the skate legend, who did Urban Assault 2, or not Urban Assault, Country Club Assault. He sent me. He got me in touch with someone over there, and they sent me like 15 pairs of Ethicas, and all my old underwear were just like mixed and matched, and like had holes in them from welding, and almost burning my nuts off and shit here and there. So it was nice to get like a whole new wardrobe of underwear and use those other ones. I wanted to use them as shop rags, but Tim was like, "I'm not wiping stuff up with your old underwear, dude. Like you're tripping." So yeah, I just threw them away.
Dang, dude. Well, at least you got Ethica to get you some good stuff. So
I love them. They're really nice.
Last question.
Super fluffy.
What's your favorite kind of ice cream? I don't think we asked that last time.
Moose Tracks and pistachio, and Rocky Road's all right. Mint chip, cookie dough. The dudes are all good, but if I had to go buy one, if I had to stick with one, it would be Moose Tracks.
Easy enough. Oh, I see that Lexi always steals your pistachio.
Dude, I guarantee you. Watch. Let's go in there right now. That freaking thing was half full the other day. I bet you it's almost gone right now. I bet you. She is a little ice cream bandit, dude. I tell you what. I wonder if it's here. But yeah, man. What else we got?
That's it, man. Unless you got anything for me, that's it.
Sorry, it's kind of dark right now.
That's all right. We still know you're there.
Yeah, what's next for the Dirty Dooner Show, man?
So we got one of your really good buddies coming on this week, Tyler Mueller, Total Tint.
Yeah.
He'll be on this Wednesday show. Next live show, we're gonna have guy from Glamis AXA Rentals. He does the Black Bag project out there. So we were kind of talking about trash, and Dave Karbinski does.
Oh my god. Dude, this thing is so light. What is that, like a soup? Yeah, she got me. If my Moose Tracks is gone, I'm going to be really upset. No, that's like half full. So I'm actually really hungry. I'm actually going to eat some of this right now.
In Wilkey fashion, we're eating ice cream.
Yep. I got a beard going too right now, dude. I'm starting to look like you. We could be brothers.
Yeah. I think Dunehor earlier said nice beard. I don't know if he was talking to me or to you.
You've always had a beard, dude.
I'm on and off.
Peanut butter? Dude, it's life-changing. Little bit of peanut butter. Bro.
In true Wilkey fashion.
Sweet, man. Well,
you ready to wrap this thing up?
I guess so, dude.
I just got to say thank you for coming on. Thank you for supporting the Dirty Dinner Show. You've been a huge help. And thanks for making America shred again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know it, dude. We'll catch you guys out at the dunes or at the Mint or at AZ Off-Road Expo or at Michigan. I'm going to go to Michigan soon too. So, I mean, there's a bunch of things that we got coming up. So hopefully we see you all out there at one of them. Come say what up. We're going to have posters, stickers, all that stuff. You guys see anything specifically, if you was watching this, if you guys see anything on Shreddy that you like, use Wilkey as the promo code. Save 15% off. And I think that's it, man.
I'll see you in a couple weeks. All right.
Later, man.
Later, bro.
Also.